Right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kieran and welcome back to a new survival horror video, and today we're going to be diving into a very cool new classic survival horror game fans are going to love, and that is Fear the Dark Unknown. The reason why I'm saying this is because I feel like most games I've covered recently are mostly like first-person survival horror titles, and aren't anything really like the classics except for Visual and Injection. So when I first seen Fear the Dark Unknown on Twitter, I got pretty excited because it did remind me of like older titles like Resident Evil, Silent Hill, and even Alone in the Dark, to be honest. The game is being developed by a new Spanish developer named Dreamlight Games, and can I just say, I've actually been seeing a lot of like Spanish developers pop up on my Twitter recently, especially after I did the video on Injection a while back, which is cool because I'm actually currently trying to learn Spanish, so this quite helps. But yeah, welcome to Fear the Dark Unknown. I've actually been waiting for a while to make this video because every time I went down, I sat myself down and actually planned it out. The developer releases new information or like says, oh yeah, by the way guys, we have a new gameplay video coming out by the end of the week, and I'm like, oh fantastic. So basically you're saying the video that I was just writing there is a bit obsolete, so fantastic. So ever since then, the videos just been keep putting on the backlog, and I keep making new videos but not making that one, and I keep promising to make this one, but fuck it, we're finally here. Let's get into the details, let's get into the story of Fear of the Dark Unknown. Fear of the Dark Unknown follows two separate protagonists, James and Chloe Sylvan, who both, for their own reasons, travel to the supposedly haunted Beresford family mansion. Rumours concerning the mansion started from the locals of the nearby town of Barrow, who discussed the strange death of the Beresford daughter, Matilda. After the death of their daughter, the Beresford family's continued suffering over the years reinforced the idea that a curse hung over the mansion. After her death, Matilda's sister Victoria underwent strange changes that turned her from a cheerful little girl to something that was more filled with fear than joy. This drastic change caused the townfolk to think that the girl knew a little bit more than she let on about her sister's death. At the beginning of the game, you can choose between playing as either James or Chloe, much like the older Resident Evil titles where you chose as like Jill and Chris or Leon and Claire. Chloe's story starts out with her moving into her first apartment, only to be interrupted by a strange voicemail from her father. The voicemail asks her to go to a weird address so her father could finally reveal the truth about her mother's death. Or so he says. This address, you guessed it, does lead to the Beresford mansion. James' story follows kind of a similar structure, but he actually goes to Chloe's new apartment, only to find bloodstained boxes and her missing. After investigating her computer for clues as to her whereabouts, he finds pages upon pages of an old mansion. The story is very mysterious and I quite like it. I like how there's like that just layer of mystery that you don't really know what's going on. Where is the family, you know, all these little things, you know. But anyway, on to the most important part of a survival horror game, and that is the gameplay. Fear the Dark Unknown's gameplay is very much classic 90s survival horror with game mechanics such as fixed camera angles, locked doors, and puzzle solving. What is a noticeable difference for this game amongst other modern survival horror titles is the two protagonists. Again, like I said before, at the start of the Fear the Dark Unknown, the player has a choice of playing either as James or Chloe Sylvan, and you can probably tell from listening to story details, the story for both characters will differ. Also, judging from their gameplay videos, the two characters seem to play very similar to one another, so there's not really going to be much change. This could change by the time of the game's release, but I'm guessing it'll probably work more like the classic Resident Evil 1, where Chris had limited inventory space, and Jill had a lot more inventory space, and I think, I might be wrong in this one, I can't actually remember, but wasn't Chris a little bit stronger than Jill, maybe? So like Jill could take, or took less hits to go down, and Chris could take more hits to go down. I'm not entirely sure about that, I could be entirely wrong, just ignore me, but that could be the case here. But yes, so far we do have two gameplay videos to tear through, although both are from like alpha builds of the game, so anything is subject to change. In Chloe's gameplay video, we see stealth being implemented to avoid a certain lady demon thing by crouching in the darkness and then navigating around the enemy. Chloe also picks up a bronze key, which we have seen before actually in a few screenshots, and is required to unlock a few doors in the mansion. I'm guessing the Beresford mansion will be built like the Spencer estate from Resident Evil 1. Again, I keep referencing Resident Evil 1, I'm sorry about that, but it's just a good comparison to make here. Especially with the various doors being locked by different style of keys and that you will find as the player progresses through the game. Collectible documents such as Robert Beresford's diary can be found throughout the mansion to establish lore and leave clues as to what's actually happening in terms of story. The character is also seen picking up different objects, such as the collector's bug, that looks like it can be used to give more options to other objects, so you can, like, in the gameplay demo, you can be seen walking up to a door and it gives you the option. It's like, oh, do you want to use the collector's bug on this door? Oh, do you want to use it on this bag? Oh, do you want to use it on this object? So I'm curious how that works. I'm curious if that's just on the alpha or it's in the full game. We don't know. Zombie-like enemies can also be seen being dealt with rather easily, to be honest, with it only being a couple of shots to kill. The gameplay continues to show off Chloe exploring various locations around the mansion and even interacting with some sort of puzzle with a clock. The last few shots of Chloe's gameplay are more combat focused and shows Chloe with like a Lucille style bat and a special monster which I'm dubbing the Basement Dweller, which appears to eat Chloe whole, like without biting at all. It literally just fucking swallows her like a what's the thing, you know? Is that a snake? The snake does that? Yeah. Anyway, still pretty fucked. James's gameplay is more of the same, but with a lot more polished enemy types being on display. A picture puzzle is also shown and appears to hurt James when completed, but I don't know if this is like intentional or if the puzzle has been done wrong and that's why James got hurt. I'm guessing that anyway. James's gameplay shows off more locations around the mansion as well, and even shows off more cutscenes containing new characters of what appears to be like a little girl, and what appears to be the main antagonist of the game as well, the Dark Unknown itself. But yeah, this gameplay highlights the amount of interactable objects throughout the game, which appears to be a lot, but it also shows off a dog-like creature and some zombies. Combat in this game appears to be similar to other games in the genre, with the player being able to find up to 4 weapons, such as the handgun and the baseball bat. Although just because you have a gun doesn't mean you should like go around shooting up everything like a bloody shooting gallery. You do have limited ammo in this game, so you should just save up, just keep saving up your ammo. Avoid enemies if you can. Do that wee Resident Evil trick where you walk up next to them, then you dodge them and shit and then just walk around them. Save up your ammo, because there will be bosses in this game, I can guarantee you, and they'll use up quite a lot of ammo, so just bear that in mind. The enemies of the game appear to be zombie-like creatures, like I said before, but they probably aren't that. They're probably just weird demon things that are basically spawns of the Dark Unknown itself. We don't really know too much about the enemies, but I'm hoping that we do have like a more anime-centric video in the future, or maybe we won't even find out until the game comes out. So this game seems to be very thought out, and it looks like it could be potentially one of the best classic-looking survival horror games we've had in recent years anyway. With fans of the genre making titles such as Vigil, Injection and Fear, the survival horror genre looks to be making a very welcome comeback in 2019 and the future. So what are your thoughts on Fear of the Dark Unknown? Are you excited to play a decent survival horror game like the classics? Please leave your thoughts down in the comments below. I'm definitely going to be checking it out, but when this game comes out I'm definitely going to be playing it because it does seem like a very cool survival horror game, which is something to say because the games I've covered recently in the past in the new survival horror, they've all kind of been a little bit meh. You know, Reborn was meh, it was okay, it was like a first person horror game. Paranoid looks cool, but there's not enough information on it, so it's good to see a game like this have good social media, by the way. You should go follow them on Twitter because they're posting constantly. And just sharing information in general, like they have a website with a bunch of, if you want more information in the game basically, go follow them on Twitter and go onto their website as well, you have a ton more information there. But anyway, special thanks to my lovely wee patrons Simon609, Kendall Gunchub, Devil and Proxy1 for making this video possible and helping me out through Patreon. So thank you all so much. It means so much to me, especially at this time as well, because I'm actually going through kind of a rough patch financially. So just thank you guys so much for subscribing to the Patreon. It means a lot. Anyway guys, that is me for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you later. Bye bye.